Hi, everybody. Today I wanted to continue a discussion that I started before about types of people who are handling mental health issues. And this one is specifically covering people who share a lot of like platitudinous posts. And these people are usually people who are just sharing posts from other people without any context. And therefore it kind of comes off as kind of fake. The person that puts up these platitudinous posts with no kind of context underneath, like they're like, live the dream you're dreaming, learn to love yourself. And it's like, okay, that's nice. What the fuck does that mean? What does that platitude mean? And therefore it's not really like a genuine thing to say. It's not authentic. It's like, okay, how do I do that? And that's why it's like, sometimes the things I put up sound kind of platitudinous, but I will never put something up that requires an explanation without giving that explanation. Because I really can't stand when somebody just puts something up like, you're worth it. Well, how the fuck do you know I'm worth it? You don't know me. You don't know who I am. I could be a terrible person. I could be a total waste of space to a lot of people. Am I worth it? And even if that person is worth it, you don't know that. You don't know that person that's looking at your post. You don't know that they're worth it. You have no idea who they are. There's just so many platitudes. I find this especially true for people who are going through depression. My big pet peeve line when someone's going through depression is like when someone says, think about everything you'll miss if you're gone. Because so many people with depression are like, I know. That's why I don't want to be here. Because in their mind, the things that they're going to miss are things that they don't want to be here for. And so that's not helpful because they don't care about themselves. They don't care about what they'll be missing out on. They're convinced that no one's going to miss them. They're convinced that nothing bad is going to happen because they've left. They're convinced that there's going to be some feeling they are going to have in the same way that they have this human experience. After they're gone, there won't be. Some people, and I notice a lot of the time it's younger people, but not always, who don't really grasp the reality of what death is, will say, oh, well, they'll miss me when I'm gone. They're going to miss me and they're going to be sorry. Well, yeah, probably, but you're not going to be around for it. So don't do that. The other terrible line is it's like, oh, well, if you do that, then that's a selfish thing to do. And it's like, that doesn't help either. Because it's not really you making that decision, is it? It's your depression. And depression takes control of your mind. You don't necessarily have control, and your thoughts are irrational and things like that. And it lies to you about what your world really looks like. So certain things that are clearly coming from people who have not been in that space before are not helpful. And that's kind of another thing I don't necessarily like about platitudes. They may even have the opposite effect from being helpful. Or you'll see people, with anxiety like, it's okay to not be okay. And that's true. But that doesn't exactly tell a story necessarily. It's like, it's okay to not be okay. It's not okay as in it's a good thing. But it's okay if you need to take a moment and accept that you're not doing very well. But there's no context for that. And Instagram is great for posting those kinds of motivational posts with zero context, especially because people steal stuff all the time. I also don't like when people post things like, oh, those people who wronged you will get what's coming to them. Don't you worry, karma's going to get them. And it's all like, well, maybe, but maybe not. And for a lot of people, something bad will happen to them from somebody else, but that doesn't necessarily mean A, that person is going to apologize, B, that person's going to understand that they did something wrong, C, that person's going to pay for it, whatever that means, or D, that they really should be considered evil. Most people who do bad things because something bad has happened to them, and this is how they're expressing it. You know what I mean? There are people who have done really awful things to me in my lifetime who are right now doing just fine by all measures. Nothing bad has happened to them, and it's been years. And somebody may say, oh, well, just wait, it's coming. But it's like, why should I be waiting for that? Why does it matter to me? Why should I be waiting with bated breath for something bad to happen to somebody? And if I do, what kind of person does that make me? What kind of person does that make me that I want to see somebody else suffer? No matter who they are. And if they don't suffer, then, does that mean that I deserve what happened to me? No, of course not. That doesn't mean that at all. But for me to sit there and obsess over somebody else is just a waste of my time. And the only way to kind of guarantee that you're going to be able to move on from whatever happened to you is to just kind of accept that that happened, not worry about what's going to happen to the other person, not act like you know their entire story because you don't. Recognize that you've probably done something to hurt somebody too at some point, and get that closure for yourself. And that's kind of what just forgiving someone for your own sake kind of is. Just kind of being like, okay, this happened. It's painful. I didn't like it. It wasn't very nice. I don't have to be okay with what happened to me, but I have to accept that that's what it is and move on. Because even if you have this attitude that might seem satisfying at first, like, oh, well, karma's going to get that person for being mean to me. Why do you want something bad to happen to anyone? Even somebody who's a shithead. It's not going to serve you because you're still holding that negativity in your heart. And that's going to just poison you. There's no point in allowing yourself to be poisoned by somebody who's already done you wrong. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuning in right now. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate that you guys are getting something out of this, because that's the main thing. That's the whole point of me doing this to begin with. So I'm really, really happy, and you guys are my heroes. So thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for following me, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.